Happy Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Actors Area. I'm your host, Sean Robert Grant. Happy to have you here with me on this awesome Tuesday. It's been a busy morning up to this point, but I'm loving it. I'm loving this Florida weather. I'm loving life. I'm loving learning. I'm loving being able to teach. I'm loving the workouts that I had. I'm loving the time that I had with my wife this morning. I'm loving everything, loving life. It's so amazing. It's so wonderful. And I'm happy to spread some of that energy towards you, sending you that good juju your way, and ready to get right into epic auditioning, the process of epic auditioning, and what it means for you, what it means for your career as an actor, actress, or performer. And so you may find that there are multiple ways that people decide or pinpoint what makes a great audition. And I think one of the most generic ways is when you hear someone say, oh, well, he or she was just right for the role. I'm like, what? That shit doesn't mean no good. He or she was right for the role. Like, get into detail. Tell me why. What makes an epic audition? And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to break this down for you. I'm going to break this down for you to help you to understand the structure, the blueprint of what makes an epic audition. Okay? Here we go. Number one, an epic audition consists of an actor who is confident and unapologetic about who they are as a performer, as a person. Okay? Say it again. An actor, actress who is confident and unapologetic about who they are as a person and as a performer. Okay, so what do I mean by this? What do I mean by this? What kind of English is that? What I mean is, you go in to an audition and you have a swagger about you. And the reason I say swagger is because I don't want you to get confused and have you to be a flat out dick or a bitch to somebody who could hire you. I mean, that's honestly, you got to just put it out there to begin with. But I want you to go in there with swagger. I want you to go in there knowing that you're confident, that you put in the work, that you're doing everything you can to excel on such an enormously high level that you have what it takes and they want what you got. So that comes down to being so confident in your craft and who you are. And if you're not doing it, your self-realization and self-discovery is one of the most important things you have to work on, not only in life, but also as an actor, performer, actress. And you've got to be putting the time in with your auditioning. Like I said, Sunday, or one of those days, whenever we talked last, you have to put in the hours, because that's going to separate you. When people see that you're a flat out expert at what you do, you're able to master the entire domain effortlessly because you put in those hard-working hours. Okay? So, confident, swagger, walk in, chest up high, head nod straight to the front, smile, You've got a mouth for a reason, smile, like resonate a confident energy. I talk about, I'm doing a chapter in my book right now, the Powerhouse in Auditioning book, and I talk about how, you can own the energy in the room. And what I mean by that is that no matter what that person who's sitting at that desk is feeling, you can be in a place to where you can immediately have them on your team the moment you walk in, because that's the universe. We're all energetic beings. Everybody's putting off a resonance of energy. So you can use that to your advantage. And let that be confidence. Let that be the moment you walk in, they say, oh, I want to see what this guy is going to do. I want to see what this girl has to offer. I'm excited. They won't say that out loud, but they'll actually be listening intent to what you have or what you want to do with your audition. Okay? Number two. Number two comes down to you making bold, creative choices. And I emphasize bold. And the reason I emphasize bold is, let's say you're auditioning for a part and it's a big part. A lot of people going for it. Hundreds of actors and actresses or whatnot. And you've seen a casting director that has already seen 90 individuals come through, and I will guarantee you 86 of them have done it the exact same way because they take the script literally. And this, I kind of jumped the gun on the next one, but we'll share that in a bit. But they've all done it the exact same way. And so you got to stand out because this person, this casting director, this director is only human. And so they're getting tired. They're like, oh my God, I'm ready to go home. What am I going to eat? Blah, blah, blah. You know, because they've seen the exact same performance over and over. And it's no knack against them, but you got to understand they're people, period. They're people just like you and me. So in order for you to catch their attention, you got to make a bold, creative choice. And by making a bold, creative choice, it means stepping outside of the box. Okay? Stepping outside of the box to ensure that you are going to stand out. And it's not reaching. You're not reaching for anything, but you've done your work so you know what is going to open up for you to allow you to see in the moment for you to take advantage of. And I guarantee you, when you decide to commit to that choice and it's bold and it's creative, it's going to help you to create an epic audition. And that's all to it. That's how it comes down. That's what it comes down to, you know? And when you're bold, society in itself, society loves bold people, you know? People want to like talk about Donald Trump and say he's this and say he's that, but that motherfucker is bold. He is bold as hell, and he will say basically what pops into his head. And whether you hate him or like him or love him, you know, you're always drawn to what he says. It's amazing how many people I've met this year. It's only half the year, a little bit more than half the year. How many people are following him on Twitter? And they don't even know it, but they're drawn to his energy because he's so bold. Now, there's a fine line between being bold and being stupid. It's not about being stupid, but it's about making a brave choice. Because when you make brave choices and courageous choices, that's when people get behind you. And people want to, they want to back you. They want to go to bat for you. That's how leaders are made, because they make this bold, creative choice, and then the rest of the team is behind them to follow. So you want to make bold, creative choices. Okay? And then moving into number 3. And this is so important because this flies over the head of everybody. And it flew over my head for years at a time until I actually got the idea to realize, okay, this is how this needs to go down. You don't take the script literally. Okay? You don't take the script literally. And I'll give you a simple example. I just actually taught this to one of my clients out in New York. But it comes down to, let's say the script says you're really angry and you want to show that anger without even really saying anything. You're not going to get up in front of the camera and be like, oh, I'm so mad. God damn it. You know, you're not going to do that. You're just not. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to figure out, okay, what type of emotions, what type of actions precede anger? And I did this for, what was it? It was a YouTube series, the vampires or whatever. I remember it said that everybody can't, like, basically the character, my character, Morgan, I think was his name. He was a vampire and he was the henchman. And he was angry. He was agitated at what was going on. And so what I did is I did my research. I said, okay, what happens when you get angry? One, you start breathing hard. Two, after you're breathing hard, your heart rate starts to speed up. Okay? Your heart rate starts to speed up. And your chest starts to expand. And then from there, it might be so hysterical, you might even laugh a bit. Right? You might even laugh a bit because, see, these are natural emotions. If you're going to a place to where you're doing that shit, like, that's not natural. That's acting. They're going to, like, put an X on your performance right away. But if you understand, see, you've got to study emotions as an actor, as a performer, because you want it to be authentic. You want it to be organic. You want it to be guys out there cutting grass as I'm doing my podcast. But you want it to be so pure in its entire essence of what the emotion is that someone can look across you and say, oh, my God, that's real. That is real. That's so real. I can feel that, you know. And so when I did that in this audition, the director was like, oh, my God, you're like the first person today that hadn't thrown stuff around or stumped his feet or did any childish anger. And, you know, I just said, thank you. But I knew, like, okay, if I'm going to be angry, I need to prime that anger before it actually comes out. And that's what happens. You laugh, you breathe hard, you know, you shake a little bit, your chest expands, your heart beats fast, all these things. Like, study these things. Study human emotion, because it will be your absolute best friend when you're when you're getting ready to go to audition, especially when you're on set. You know, use it to your advantage. And I tell you, it will look so amazing when you're on camera and you're feeling it. You're just basically into this environment, and you're, as Abraham would say, tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. And it's phenomenal. Okay. But that's important. Do not take the script literally. Figure out the loopholes. Figure out how to make it as organic as possible. And number 4, very last one here. And this is one of my favorites because it ties into number 1. But you've heard me say it before. You just got to be yourself. Just be yourself. You're not going in there trying to be anybody other than you. Okay? And what I mean by that is that you're going in to a place that's a job interview, basically. And when you're applying for a job, you know, they don't want you to come in. They don't want to call you in as Jimmy and then all of a sudden you come in as Steve, right? I mean, like, no, you know, or they just, that just doesn't happen. If they call in Jimmy, they want the essence of Jimmy into the character of whoever it is. All right? So, and by doing that, what's going to happen is you're going to permeate the person that you are within the person that you're, or the character that you're performing. And all it comes down to is that, you know what? And this is one of the like creative things about art and about acting. Just ask yourself, ask the question, or write it down. Sometimes it helps to write it down. What part of myself connects completely to this character? And I guarantee you'll get like 50 answers if you're willing to be patient and wait for them. And you just connect to that thing and you add that element of you into that character, and voila. You know, it's like some of our greatest, you know, actors of all time. We love them. We love the characters, but we love them. Like Tony Montana, a big part of Tony Montana was who Al Pacino was at the time. That's why it was so convincing, you know. There's so many different instances where a guy takes himself or a girl takes herself and puts it into that character, puts it into who they're portraying, but we can feel the actor coming through, right? We can feel the actor connecting with us. And that's what's magical. That's what's valuable. That is what can make you a star. So I've only shared 4 steps with you here on the podcast. There's like 4,000, but I don't have that kind of time because I got work to do. But all things aside, thank you guys for joining me. I know this will help you. I'm actually positive it will help you. Keep tuning in. Share the podcast. It's downloadable. If you know anybody, any performers especially that can benefit from it. Also rocking out with this private coaching, which has just been awesome, and teaching people how to be powerhouses as it relates to auditioning, but also teaching about the acting business. And that's something that a lot of people aren't aware of and how it operates and how it works. And so getting into that stuff as well. But I'm excited to help people and just to enlighten them on new techniques and tactics and how to progress in a way that's going to not only make them feel like a success, but make them feel fulfilled, because that's what it comes down to. We want you to be happy above all else. And if that can happen, that's what matters. So until next time, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you. If you are interested in coaching, send me an email at shaung04@gmail.com. Look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.